Hey everyone, today I'm doing something a little different. These are my predictions for Call of Duty 2024 Zombies, but I've turned it into a little game. It's time to play Prediction Bingo. I've got a bingo card here. Oh, whoops, that's the one from the thumbnail. I've got a bingo card here featuring some of my predictions for this year's Zombies. I'm going to reveal and explain them one by one, and at the end of COD 2024's life cycle, we can look back and see which ones I got right. We'll start with the middle and what is basically our free space. Weaver and the Requiem heads die. This one's basically confirmed, and I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen in this game. We saw it in the Modern Warfare Zombies trailer, we already know it's going to happen, it's just when. That's the middle, that's the free space, second prediction anyway. We'll start at the top. Dr. Jaeger and Gorev return in some form. Of course, in Cold War, these two were working at Omega, but for COD 2024, rumoured to be set in the 90s, that may not be the case. There's also some intel on Forsaken, where I think Gorev, now I'm paraphrasing here, I can't remember this off the top of my head, said something about knowing someone who could help them both flee the Soviet Union should the situation at Omega go pear-shaped, which it certainly did. So, in one of the maps, there could be something like there being some survivors amidst a zombie outbreak, and those survivors being some very familiar faces. Just saying. Okay, next one is pretty simple. Raul Menendez or his cartel is referenced in one way or another. I believe in some intel in Cold War, they got access to some Ethereum, which caused an outbreak on one of the Onslaught maps. Maybe that's something to do with Outbreak, I don't know. Still, just something to look out for. On the topic of Outbreak, Outbreak 2. With the success of Cold War's Outbreak, it would be crazy if we didn't get a second. I mean, they've already tried expanding on it with different modes, like Vanguard and Modern Warfare Zombies, but I think it would be reasonable to expect an Outbreak mode to return in COD 2024. The Ultimate crew gets quoted. In Forsaken, the Forsaken said something about there being a phrase in the Dark Ether being "you are out of rabbits," which is derived from a quote from Ultimus Richtofen in Alpha Omega, where he says he is all out of rabbits, in response to another character saying something about him pulling another rabbit of betrayal from his hat. Now, someone like the Forsaken, or even Eddie or Maxis, could end up quoting Ultimus, although they could also quote Primus, which would make me mad. Or they could quote, "Strike Team, I am so glad that Alcatraz fiasco wasn't cut short. That could have ended in disaster." Or even, "Ow, my balls, Requiem." Anyway, moving on from that, next prediction. The demons from Vanguard at least get... I can't stop laughing. Oh no. My balls, Requiem. Fucking hell. The demons from Vanguard at least get mentioned. If they appear, that would be awesome, because I think that they were cool and sometimes quite funny. But I'm not counting on that, as there's a good chance that a Forsaken got them. But a reference at least would be cool. Like they reference Kraft in Modern Warfare Zombies, for instance. Next prediction, the operators return and they suck. So it's very likely that we are once again going to be stuck with operators for another game, rather than a set cast. Sag. But what would be even worse if they absolutely sucked again like they did in Cold War? And, well, I say Modern Warfare Zombies, but I couldn't remember a single line from any of the operators in that game. I hope we get more lively operators like we had in Vanguard, who at least try to be funny and memorable. Less zombie down. I've got a ray gun. Assault rifle. Woohoo. I'm so excited. And more, "Hey, I want to hand this to ya. It's your ass." Something like that, you know, something more lively. This next one's a bit of a meme. Kravchenko dies again. Bonus point if it's in an explosion. I mean, what? He's been blown up several times, shot in the head once as well, and that's just on his daily commute to work. And I mean, it's not like he has anything inside there anyway. But seriously, if they do retcon BO2 and then kill Kravchenko again in this game, well, I say kill, quote unquote, like he comes back for this game and then dies at the end, like, oh my god, it would be... I find it quite funny, but also kind of sad that I would either retcon BO2 or, oh hey, he survived getting shot in the head. And what happened to him in Cold War as well. The second explosion he's been in now? Next one. The Victis map gets remade. Now, I based this one off of some rumours that we were getting a Transit remake in COD 2024. Now, obviously that's a rumour, but there are other Victis maps that could be remade. Diarise is definitely on the table. Buried, unless it's in the Dark Ether, not so much. And Tag Toten, not a chance. That's already a remake in itself. We don't need a remake of a remake, people. Have we had a remake of a remake before? If this happens, I'd expect it to be like a D Machina style remake where it's built around and expanded on one of these maps to basically become something entirely different. But hey, we'll see. Next one. Widow's Wine returns. Now, there were some rumours of Widow's Wine returning to Modern Warfare Zombies, and while it doesn't seem that may be coming true for this game, it could happen for the next, seeing as this would be a fully fledged Zombies title. Hell, I'd even take Winter's Wail for this one, as they both do the same thing, but just in ever so slightly different ways. Like, if Widow's Wine or Winter's Wail returns, then yeah, that's going to fill the space. Okay, we got a Chaos Story reference in Vanguard, so it's not out of the question that we get something similar in Gulf War, as it's rumoured to be called anyway. It could be something small like Alistair Rhodes' name drop again, or something bigger like a Chaos Story element or character being a bigger part of the map, like, oh hey, Alistair Rhodes, or some blood, I don't know, Scarlet, or someone did something here, or maybe as if by magic one of the Chaos characters returns somehow. I mean, they'd probably all be dead by now. It's like the Chaos Story is like 1910, we're gonna be in the 1990s and shit now. It's like, is that even gonna happen? That's a quite an unlikely one, but we could still get a reference like how we did in Vanguard. Alright, next prediction, Dr. Jansen is referenced. Now, I'm not really in the know about the storyline of Modern Warfare Zombies, but it would make sense if we see something about Dr. Jansen get referenced in one way or another in the game. Seeing as she is such a prominent character that we don't really know much about right now, at least I don't. I'm gonna be honest, as I said, I don't know shit about the Modern Warfare Zombie storyline. Still, perhaps we see what's with her in the Dark Ether or something, I don't know, perhaps we already have. I have not been paying attention to the story. I haven't even, completed Act 1. Yep, that's how far behind I am. This one may as well be a free space, given the Dark Ether storyline's track record. Mimics and Manglers make yet another return. They were in Cold War, they were in Modern Warfare 3, the Manglers were originally from Black Ops 3, and I would absolutely not be surprised to see these guys come back for round 3, or 4 in the Manglers case. Personally, I don't think Mimics should be showing up this much, nor should Manglers. I think they should just, get some more boss enemies, but honestly, they're not too annoying. It's just seeing them all the fucking time. The only Dark Ether game that they haven't appeared in is Vanguard. This next one is less a prediction and more of a wish. Can we please have QEDs return in some shape? Please, they were such a cool grenade, please! Okay, here's another. Eddie is a major character. More importantly, we hear his actual voice. Obviously, he's been sneaking around and doing stuff in the shadows since the Dark Ether story began, and if we were to learn anything more about him, I think it would be now. Especially after the end of Forsaken, it does seem like Eddie may be potentially an antagonist in Gulf War. Unlike some of the ones on this card, I think this one is a pretty realistic expectation. Yeah, some of these I can see definitely aren't realistic, like Kravchenko dying again. Right. Okay, here's another one about perks. Double Tap returns. Honestly, I think at least an increased fire rate would have benefited a lot of the guns in Cold War, especially the snipers. Especially the fucking ZRG. That piece of garbage has scarred me for life with that fire-based ZRG challenge. Oh my god. It doesn't have to do the things that Double Tap 2 did. Weapons are powerful enough in modern zombies, I feel. But the return of this classic perk would be appreciated, even if it is just a bonus to the fire rate. Next one. Peck dies before the third map. Honestly, I get the feeling that old Willie Pecker may not last much longer, as much as I like him. I feel like he's definitely gonna get got. He's not in Modern Warfare Zombies, and he's not dead with the Requiem heads in the trailer, so there's a good chance he dies before that. Or somewhere else. Or both. I'm saying he's dead at the midway point of the game, if not even sooner. Sure, there is a chance that he's in a cell or just living the high life at some tropical resort, but this is Zombies. When has that last one ever happened? Next prediction on the topic of Peck. Peck gets an operator bundle, with the likes of Weaver and Maxis getting bundles in Cold War alongside the scrapped Ravenov bundle. Peck may become a playable operator at some point during the game's lifespan. Hell, that's maybe how he dies, by getting made into an operator bundle. But with the amount of people who simp for Peck, it would be a missed opportunity to give him an operator bundle. should operations return. Please don't. Next one, we get a returning wonder weapon from BO2. See, I'm sensing the beginning of a pattern here. In Vanguard, we have the DG2 returning from World at War, and in Modern Warfare 3, we have the VR11 from Black Ops 1. So this trend may continue, and we see a wonder weapon from BO2 return. My guess would be either the Jet Gun, the Ray Gun Mark II, or the Paralyzer. The Origin Staffs would be the least likely to return, I think, and the Blundergat is also very unlikely in my eyes. And this liquefies reputation of being one of the most OP wonder weapons ever made. Well, I can certainly see why they wouldn't want it breaking another map. And on the topic of wonder weapons, the ray gun sucks ass. In every game after Cold War, the ray gun's been kind of meh. And it wouldn't surprise me if it sucks once again in Gulf War. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. The ray gun's iconic, and I do want to see it at least be somewhat good. Not like as busted as Cold War, but you know, still viable. After how OP the ray gun was in Cold War, I don't think they ever want to repeat that situation again, so just make it as mid as possible. Next prediction, the Forsaken becomes a purple guy who always comes back. Or at least someone tries to bring him back. He's not dead. As of Cold War, he's trapped inside of a box in an undisclosed location, but there is a good chance that some idiot may break him out. And that idiot could even be Eddie. But that's just a theory. A game theory! Honestly, I think Zykov is likely to make a return in some sort of plot thread. What that would be, I couldn't tell you, but I get the feeling that he's not finished yet. And here we have the most unlikely thing to happen on this entire card. Zombies Chronicles 2 has been somewhat of a myth in the community ever since BO4, but as I said, this is the most unlikely to happen, so there is another condition that can fill this space. If the Zombies community's collective brains get sent into Chronicles 2 mode, and massive amounts of rumours start circulating all over the place like happened in Cold War's lifespan, then I'll also count that. Although if the actual thing happens, I'll actually cry tears of joy. Here's the last one regarding perks. We get another perk returning from BO4 that's not Death Perception. Obviously, Death Perception is likely to make a return if this will be anything like Modern Warfare zombies, and we've seen Dying Wish and Time Slip make a return as tiers of other perks in Cold War, as well as Stone Cold Stronghold as Ring of Fire, but there are still other perks that I think could make a comeback in some form. Things like Bloodwolf Bite, Zomshell, Blazeface, and Victorious Tortoise. Tortoise? What the fuck? English! Victorious Tortoise are all worthy contenders to be brought back in some form. Some like Victorious Tortoise, or Tortoise, might need a slight rework to better suit the game's mechanics, like the armor system with Victorious Tortoise. How many times am I going to say this in a sentence? Victorious Tortoise. But I'd be surprised if we didn't see another BO4 perk added during COD 2024's lifespan. Okay, here's another lore one. The Construct gets some sort of role within the story. With how powerful this thing was stated to be in Vanguard, I'd be surprised if it doesn't make another appearance. Perhaps another character could try to become its Archon again, like Eddie, Maxis, or Zykov for instance. Or perhaps even Peck. Or Gorev. The guy's got to get some batteries for his son's toy car somehow, you know. But in all seriousness, I'd be surprised if this ominous, sentient rock monolith creature thingy doesn't at least get a mention. And our final prediction, a non-Triarch Zombies game gets mentioned. Now, this one may seem a little far-fetched, but hear me out, okay? Hear me out. In Cold War, both World War II zombies and IW zombies were indirectly referenced. In some intro? Fucking hell, I'm on fire with my English today. In some intel from Strauss, I believe it was Strauss, he mentions the Ananurbe. Ananurbe? I don't know. One of those, I butchered it probably several times. Now this was a real life project by the Nazis, but they were also an antagonistic faction in World War II Zombies, where Peter Straub and Heinz Richter were both leading members. That one is a bit of a reach, admittedly, but I'll take it nonetheless. What isn't so much of a reach are the Willard Wyler movie posters found both within Cold War and Modern Warfare 3. And as we all know, Willard Wyler was an antagonist within Infinite Warfare Zombies. Even Modern Warfare 2 had an IW Zombies reference of its Spaceland Desert Eagle blueprint from the Haunting event. Sure, this is likely to be just an Easter egg, reused assets, la-di-da, but I'm not expecting something serious like Weaver popping in like, "Strike team, we need to stop Willard Wyler from unleashing the Panzer Mortar. Also, I fucking hate the Atlas Corporation." But even if it's just like little Easter eggs like that, they'll count. And with Advanced Warfare weapons now in MW3, that opens up the possibility of exo-zombies being referenced too, although that one's probably the most unlikely. And that's my prediction for COD 2024 Zombies. Some are likely, some are memes, and some are just unhinged, but I'd like to know what your predictions for COD 2024 are in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and with that being said, thanks for watching.